Atma Namaste everyone and welcome to the Life Architect channel with yours truly Avril Quadris. And I'm your life architect as you know it. And I want to take you on a transformative journey as your guide as we say goodbye to 2023 and we welcome in 2024. And so today we're going to dive into the third part of our trilogy, which is Relationships Reimagined. And today we're going to explore the art of fostering meaningful connections, improving our communication, and building empowering support systems, all of which are so vital to us functioning well in 2024. So let me take a minute to first tell you who I am and why you should subscribe to my channel. If you're new here, and if you're not new and you're already a subscriber, welcome back. So on my channel, Life Architect, we talk about the different protocols that I'm certified in, and I give you tips and strategies with NLP, ICF style coaching, mindfulness and meditation, energy therapy, positive psychology, and even yoga techniques, so that you can consciously create the life that you desire, brick by brick, because that's the only way we can live with consciousness. So are you ready for our last video of 2023? If you are, if you like my content, then please click the subscribe button and please share with us what was your main takeaway from these three last sessions of 2023. So don't you agree that we live in a world where digital communication dominates? And it's so difficult for us to maintain meaningful relationships. It can be so challenging for us. And yet we fully know that connections are so crucial to our emotional and mental well-being because we are human beings. We are emotional beings. And today I'm going to share some insights and of course, real life client stories to ensure that you and I build meaningful bonds. So let's talk about type number 1, reconnecting in a digital age. Client type number 1. So let's talk about Mark. So Mark was a client who felt very disconnected from his friends and family due to his hectic work schedule, and he was always relying on social media for communication. So first, as usual, I delved into the root cause using energy therapy to find out when and why this feeling of disconnection was there. And then we worked on carving out dedicated time for these meaningful face-to-face interactions, for mindful communication. And this immensely improved his relationships. So what is tip number 1? Tip number 1 is you have to prioritize face-to-face interaction. We as humans are emotional beings and we need meaningful connections. Remember how we all became during COVID and how mental health really suffered? So you need to make time for in-person interactions. In our busy lives, it's so easy to default to digital communication, but that's not the answer. Face-to-face communication is inevitable for building deeper connections. Even a small gesture like coffee meetups, a walk in the park, going for a hike together, these things are so important for our emotional and mental well-being. So pick one, something that you can relate to and start immediately. Number 2, overcoming communication barriers. So let's talk about a client who I had, whose name is Emma, who struggled with expressing her needs and feelings to her partner. So first, we rooted out the trauma that she faced in some previous relationships and also the fact that she was bullied in school and even in college. And then through ICF style coaching, we focused on developing her communication skills. Intentional and attentional communication, particularly when she was expressing herself, to listen actively and to communicate and speak clearly. This enhanced her relationship and also her self-confidence and self-esteem. She found her self-esteem, she found her inner voice, she decided that she was worthy after decades of being bullied, and she became a fabulous communicator, being mindful of her feelings and the other person's feelings. So what is tip number 2? You need to practice open and empathetic communication. What happens when you embrace open and empathetic communication? It encourages dialogue. It encourages an open dialogue where both parties are listening to be heard and to understand what the other person is saying. It's not just about talking. listening is more important than talking. Understanding what is the other person's perspective. We're so used to talking that we don't listen, and listening is the most important part of communication. Let's talk about the third type, building a supporting network. So there's Sarah, who lives in the Middle East, who was working with me, and she was feeling very isolated because she moved to a new city. She was from the UK. So together we worked on strategies for her to build a new support network. We worked on showcasing her personality and her assets as a person, both personally and professionally. I encouraged her to join local groups that aligned with her interests. She began volunteering, leading to new and meaningful relationships, and she made great friendships, especially at the volunteering associations that she was doing. So what is tip number 3? You need to actively seek and nurture a support system. Support systems don't come to you. You need to build them. So don't be afraid to build your support system actively. Join communities or groups that resonate with your interests. You can join so many groups. Support systems are not just about having people around. It's about having the right people around. People who uplift you, who understand you, and whom you uplift and whom you understand. So these are some easy things that you can do to maintain your relationships and to grow your relationships, focusing on enriching your life with fulfilling relationships in 2024. Whether it's through better communication, nurturing existing bonds, building new connections, every step counts. And it's so important. Relationships are such an important part of our lives. It's not just about wealth. It's not just about health. It's about relationships, because when you have meaningful relationships, when you have successful professional relationships, then your life is more enriched because you can share your success, your wealth, your health, your purpose. You can share this with your tribe. So I want to encourage you to comment below on what was the biggest takeaway, from this video. I also want to thank you for joining me today. And if these tips were useful to you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. I have so much more coming up for you in 2024. Here's a toast to you to meaningful relationships and so much positive growth. See you in 2024 for more strategies on architecting the life of your dreams. Have a safe and super successful 2024, not just for you, but for your near and dear ones. Stay true to being you, because you matter. And I'm your life architect, Avril Quadras. Ciao.